I got that California.
Adyel here, and today I will be showing you guys how I achieve this look for back to school. This video is going to be talked through, which will explain the length of this video, and it is going to be jam-packed with information and certain steps that you could do or certain steps that you can skip. I showed you basically the full potential look if you have the maximum amount of time. This, though, for the most part, was my everyday look for my junior year 11th grade of high school. Believe it or not, taking out some steps, I could be done with this look in about 5 to 10 minutes and be out the door. I personally think this is really easy and simple and effortless. I would probably recommend this more for high school, but if you're in middle school, you could take out a lot of the steps that I did recommend to take out throughout this video. I wore this look all the time, and I would snap with this look, and you guys have been requesting this literally probably for almost a year now. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it and enjoyed all my tips and tricks, and definitely let me know how you like it in the comments down below. Be sure to also subscribe. I try to post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and also give this video a thumbs up. But without further ado, let's just get straight into the tutorial. Okay, so first things first, I always put a headband in my hair. Now the first step is to take a priming spray. I highly recommend that you invest in a setting and priming spray. They make your mornings so much faster, and I love them so much. This one is by Scandinavia, but there's amazing drugstore ones like Elf, NYX, and I'm going to spray this all over my face in an X and a T formation. Now you just want to dry it a little bit before starting. Now on a typical school day, pretty much all year round, I simply just stick to a concealer, and that is it. I personally feel comfortable enough with my skin to do so. I love the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and normally I use the color Natural, but I ran out, so today I'm using Light Ivory. We'll see how it goes. But basically, I will spread this under my face, a little triangle position under my eyes, around my nose, and any other discoloration problem area. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be first applying the LA Girl Pro BB Cream. I highly recommend using a BB cream or CC cream instead of a foundation for school, just because they're a lot lighter and they still give you that coverage and it's very buildable. But first, I'm just going to apply my chapstick. If you feel more comfortable going with a BB cream on a day-to-day basis, I would definitely say have more time. Like I said, in order for this makeup look to take 5 to 10 minutes, for me personally, or on a daily basis, I just use concealer. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to put the BB cream on my cheeks, my nose, my chin, and my forehead. And you just want to blend this out all over your face. Of course, if you're rushing, do it faster. This personally takes a lot of time for me, so I really rather skip this step, especially if I'm running late. Another pro of using a BB cream or like a CC cream is sometimes when you just use concealer, your bronzer or anything else might look a little bit blotchy just because you don't have that perfect foundation for your makeup to sit on. So if you have that extra time, that is a big pro for the BB cream. Make sure you also blend it down to your neck when you're in a rush. Sometimes you might not notice the discoloration or anything like that, so just bring it down. Okay, so I totally forgot this step, but normally we would do this before the BB cream. I'm really used to just doing this before concealer if I have that extra time, but a great way to look more awake and alive in yourself because you don't have that much time in the morning is to color correct. I'm going to do a totally different video on color correcting. Normally on school days when I don't get enough sleep, my dark circles are terrible, and I noticed that I have a lot more redness in my skin in the mornings really early. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Color Corrector. Super affordable and super amazing, just like the concealer. If you have redness in the morning, this is the way to go, and just put your BB cream or concealer on top of it, either one. Normally in the mornings, I have that redness around my nose, so you just want to put a little bit of product and then blend it out. You don't want too much, especially in the morning. You don't want to worry about not blending it as well as you should. So normally I put the green around my nose and a little bit on my cheeks during the school year, or if I have any breakouts, which are very common during the school year, concealer because stress. I put that on super quickly, and then my dark circles, you want to take an orange or a salmon color. I personally like the orange because it really cancels out those dark circles. So you just want to put that orange concealer on. I like to go a little bit on my eyelid too because there's just darkness everywhere. Keep in mind, just a little bit goes a long way, and then you can blend it. Now this is where you would put your BB cream on top if you're deciding to color correct, but since I already accidentally applied mine, I'm just going to go straight into my concealer. And like I said, I use LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I just take a bunch of this and I put this on top of the color correcting in a big triangle under my eyes. And you don't have to color correct at all. I do not do this on a daily basis. Only if I have that extra 5-10 minutes will I do it, but normally I will sleep in as long as I can and just literally do concealer. As you can see, putting the BB cream and color correcting took a lot more time, and we would be way farther into the tutorial if I just stuck to the concealer. So just keep that in mind for timing on school days. Then I normally put my concealer around my nose and on the tip of my nose, a little on my forehead, and a little bit around my brows because I noticed some discoloration there. And then wherever else. Sometimes I'll do a little bit on my cheeks just to even out my skin. But now we're just going to quickly blend this out with your beauty blender. And if you're just putting the concealer on, I recommend trying to spread the concealer all over your face as well as you can, just so everything is as even as can be. And then under the eye and over the eye as well, just go like that. And then I like to flip it onto the big side and pat all the product in. Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit more because there's a little bit more orange. So as you can see, this is why color correcting is not a daily thing. I will say the problem is that I use such a bright orange, and if you use like more of a salmon based, closer to your skin tone color, it will not take as much time. Okay, so now your face should be pretty much even, all the same color. I quickly take translucent powder. My favorite is the Laura Mercier, and you do not need translucent powder like this. You can simply pack it on with just a brush, some pressed powder, your favorite powder, and I like to really pack this on, not super packed, like not fully baking, but you just want to pack this on top of your eyes especially, and underneath them, just to avoid any creasing. And a lot of the times during the school day I find my concealer creases on my eyelids, so we really want to set that to make sure that doesn't happen. And then you just want to take your translucent powder and pack this on everywhere else. And if you plan to bronze and contour a little bit, this will really create a smooth foundation for your face. Once I finish patting my entire face, I will then dust away this extra powder on my eyes. So next step is whatever is your priority, especially if you're running late. So if I'm running late, my main priority is to do my eyelashes. I have really sparse and stubby eyelashes, so I really like to focus on that and then get to my blush and all that bronzing stuff and eyebrows after. Pick the thing that if you have to run out the door, what is the thing that you want to have? But for the sake of this video, I'm going to continue on showing you guys the steps that I would take if I had time. So next, I quickly fill in my eyebrows. The fastest way to do your eyebrows, in my opinion, is a little pencil like this. This is the IT Cosmetics Universal Taupe Brow Pencil, and I love it so much. You basically just want to take this and fill in your eyebrows as needed. Keep them as natural as possible and quick as possible. For me, I have pretty dark and thick brows already, so I just fill in the front. In the mornings, a spoolie is going to be your best friend with your brows. I like to really messily fill them in and then brush it out with a spoolie, and then your brows should be pretty much good to go. So that is all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to move on to my face and bronzing and all that stuff, and I actually have a few tips for you guys on how to achieve a really nice contour, blush, and highlight really quickly, and also how to make it look clean. If you are running super late, my tip is to take a big fluffy brush and just a bronzer and bronze around your face. Quickly, if you don't know the difference between bronzing and contouring, bronzing is to give your skin some warmth and some color, and contouring is when you're chiseling out parts of your face to build shadow and create more dimension and doing it a little bit more chiseled, whereas bronzing is a little bit more messy. So normally I just bronze my forehead and my nose. I don't really go in and contour them. I just make sure I add some color. Also do that with my jaw and bring it down to my neck. If you were to bronze your cheekbones, you want to take your brush and go like that around your cheekbones. One key tip is when you're bronzing, focus it up here, not down here, because you do not want your contour to droop below your cheekbone. You want to keep it as chiseled as possible, and when it's down here, it could tend to look a little bit messy. So aim it down here, blend up, and just flush your cheeks and cheekbones with color. Now you want to do the other side, the same thing. I highly recommend investing in a contour kit. I've been obsessed with the Tarte's contour kit. It has your translucent powder, your blush, and your contour shades. So what I will do, if I have the extra time, if I don't, I would probably just move on to blush, but I really like to chisel out a little bit more to prevent that messy look. So quickly, I like to, again, chisel out my cheekbones a tiny bit more, again, always aiming up. And you always just want to focus on blending. I like to do circular motions and make sure it's blended all around. Now, if this is enough color for you, you can skip the blush and decide to highlight if that's what you prefer. It's all about preference, like I said. But my main tip when you're in a rush or doing your contour and blush and highlight in the morning and you don't have much time, take your same brush and load the brush with powder, and this is a super easy alternative to baking. And once you have it loaded with powder, you just want to swipe across and carve out your cheekbone so that it doesn't look as messy and it looks kind of more cut. Trust me, I've been there. I've tried to rush my contour and then I get to school and it's down here and it's not looking good at all. So that is a super quick way to ensure that it will be cut. Then you can go back and just make sure to blend and that everything is a-okay. Now personally, when I'm rushing, I go straight to blush and I skip highlight altogether. I know, crazy, I love my highlights, but I feel like it is not necessary for me personally during school, especially when I'm in a rush. Of course, I am gonna teach you my quick tip to highlighting for school, of course, just for the sake of this video, but I'm just letting you know what I wouldn't do if I didn't have time. So now I take my favorite blush from the LA Girl Spice palette and I pretty much load my brush, and the tip and key to doing your blush is focusing it on your cheekbones. You want to start higher up and work your way with the extra product down. I know people normally teach you put it on the apples of your cheeks and smile, but if you smile like this and put it on the apples of your cheeks, it is going to droop down and it will look a little bit clownish. So to get the perfect kind of like warm look on your cheeks, you really want to focus it on your cheekbones. So I start from up here and work my way down. I like to do kind of like a figure 8 motion on my cheekbones, and I do that really fast, and I blend down to my cheekbones and I try not to smile and lift my cheeks. This kit is amazing. It has 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlighter, so this is so great, and I think it's about $10, which is phenomenal. Here's the difference when I add blush and this side is just bronzed and contoured. So do it for your preference. I could have just highlighted and kept it like this, but on a day-to-day basis when I'm running late, I'd rather my cheekbones just look like this. Also, if you don't have time to highlight, another easier step is to pick a blush that has a little bit of shimmer in it. So here your cheeks have warmth and your face is structured, and yes. So also another tip I like to do is take this e.l.f. blush brush, which is phenomenal. Take a little bit of that bronzer and chisel out a tiny bit more just to give it that kind of try hard look, but you didn't really try. So. And again, once I finish my blush, I like to take that powder, pack it on my brush, and swipe. Obviously without talking, and when I'm in a rush, I can do this in literally a minute. And then you just want to pat in and blend it as seamlessly as possible. And when I'm in a rush, the last thing I do is mascara. Sometimes I don't even have a chance to make sure they look as full as possible with my lash length. And at this point, when I'm in a rush, I will chuck my lipstick in my bag so I could do it first period. But if you have a little extra time on hands and you want that glow and you don't want to have a blush with shimmer in it and you really just want that glow, of course, I'm going to teach you my quick tip for highlighting. If you watch my makeup tutorials and any of my makeup related videos, you would know I love my Benefit Watts Up and my cream highlights, and then I pack my powder highlights on top, but nobody got time for that before school. I never have time to do that unless I wake up like 30 minutes early. My favorite drugstore highlighter is by e.l.f. and it is the e.l.f. Highlight and Blush Gems. But for this video, I'm going to be using my higher end ones, but you could get the same effect using this. I'm going to be using MAC Soft and Gentle and Too Faced Candlelight Glow in Warm Glow. Yes, I know I'm pretty much out of my Soft and Gentle. I didn't use it all. It kind of broke halfway. So you want to take your favorite go-to highlighting brush. I love a little brush like this, and I first focus it on my Cupid's bow and my nose, and then I put a little under my brow and above my brow. Do this really fast to give you that healthy glow. Now you want to take it and apply it on the high points of your cheekbones and kind of do a little C shape to blend it. And also, if you watch more of my makeup videos, you know I always do my highlight before blush, but when it comes to before school, I don't really have time for that. But if you are taking the time to highlight, you could do that. So for the longest time, I thought highlighting did nothing. I thought highlighters did nothing. Nothing ever worked for me. I could never get that glow that I have in my Insta pics now. It just never worked out. Nothing ever worked. I never thought it did anything. And a lot of you guys tell me the same thing. Adyel, how do you get that glow? I don't understand. I use highlight, I put it on, but I just can never get that glow unless some light is on me. I'm going to teach you my fast trick. As you all know, like I said, my go-to is Benefit Watts Up, cream highlight, and then put a powder highlight on top, and you will glow to the gods. But if you're running late for school and you don't want just a little bit of sparkle and you want that glowy look, setting spray is your best friend. I personally don't like applying this straight to my brush or straight onto the product. I like doing it on my face instead. So quickly drown yourself in this. Take your brush while your face is still wet, touch up that highlight, and automatically you glow so much more. So you want to make sure you're still wet and get that glow. And this is the fast way to do it. No cream highlight, just powder first and then another layer while your face is wet. The only problem with this is it might leave your blush a little bit streaky or patchy, but don't worry, once your face dries, you can go back and fix that. You can put as much as you prefer, glow as much as you want, but this is my fast tip if you still want that glow. Okay, so now my face is a little bit more dry and I like to go back in with my blush and put this in the middle to make it a lot more seamless. And sometimes the highlight dulls down the color of your blush. And again, you could take the tip of your brush, dip it in the bronzer, and again, pack some powder and carve out the bottom. And of course, I never have time for this, but on a day-to-day basis, I would normally like to go back in one last time with my highlight while it's dry, just to blend it a bit more. And don't be afraid to blend with your fingers too. So that is the result of the face for school that I can achieve really fast, but only if I have that extra 5 minutes will I do the highlight. I hope that tip works for you guys. I know a lot of you always tell me that you don't know how I get that extreme glow. Or commonly people say in person my highlight glows when I just put a layer of highlights, but I can never get it to show up in pictures or anything like that. So just wet or use cream highlight. Now the last step. For me, I hate doing my lashes because, like I said, I do not like my lashes whatsoever. But I normally line my waterline and tightline with black liner. And for the bottom lashes, I just do it kind of halfway just to add some definition. Or if you want your eyes to look a little bit bigger, you can use a nude liner. I really love that look lately. Now, my favorite mascara of all time is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I would say stick to your favorite mascara, stick to your go-to. If you like to layer up your mascara, do that. But when I have zero time and I need a quick layer mascara, Too Faced Better Than Sex is my personal way to go. So I always like to curl my lashes, and I really want to get the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara because that will hold the curl a lot longer, especially for the school year. But I just am going to curl my lashes, and I really try to curl them as best as I possibly can. And once I have them curled, I'll literally quickly coat them and coat the outside and then quickly do the bottom. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to try a little bit harder. This mascara adds a lot of volume, which I love, and definitely have a Q-tip on hand, or if not on hand, in your purse so you can touch up. Especially when you're in a rush. A lot of the times I get it all over my eyelid. So yes, I know I don't have perfect luscious lashes on their own. I'm always wearing false lashes. And that's that when I'm running late. Honestly, that's that. I'm just gonna do the other side, and I do something really bad that you really shouldn't do. But before I leave, if I have time, once again, I will recurl them to try and get them to look just a little bit longer or make me just feel better about them. If you have my lash type and you have a mascara that really makes them so much better, hit me up in the comments. And the usual that normally happens. If mascara gets on your nose, let it dry. Do not touch it. It will be a disaster. And this is why I recommend putting Q-tips in your purse. So then once it's dry, swipe it off and then go back with your beauty blender a tiny bit to touch it up. And then I like to go back with the same brush that I bronzed with and just make it a bit more seamless. Also, just swipe a little bit on the lids. Now, if I'm in a rush, this is how my lashes are gonna look. It won't get better than this, but this is so bad. I will recurl them very gently and aim them up. And this is bad. Yes, I know that I could actually make all my lashes come out, but I'm very cautious about it, trust. And as you can see, once I do that, they look so much longer and better. And then sometimes I will just go in one last time. And yeah, personally, I really like the way my hair looks after I pull it out of the headband, because I just messily go like that, but sometimes I have to quickly straighten my hair. And now I'm going to apply my lipstick. Like I said, sometimes I will just have to apply my lipstick in school. This is a Burt's Bees lipstick in Sunset Cruise. It's like a chapstick and a lipstick at the same time. I love it. Press that all around my lips. Really natural, really moisturizing. And that is the final. So there we have it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty long. Considering this video was talk through, I had a lot of information, and I made sure to give you guys all of your options. And if you have more time, do this. If you have less time, don't do this. I tried to just make it jam-packed with as much information as possible and as many steps as I possibly could, and information on when to take certain steps out. You can add more or less depending on your liking. Believe it or not, I could create this look in literally 10 minutes before school, of course taking out a lot of the steps that I showed you guys in this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I always had this look on my Snapchat, and so many of you were requesting all the time to show you guys how I achieved this look for school. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like more tutorials and simple tutorials like this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone!